Welcome to the Writer's Way podcast, where stories come alive and authors share the journeys that shaped their words. Each episode dives deep into the minds behind the manuscripts, revealing the life experiences, convictions, and creativity that fuel their work. Today, we're joined by Herman Pettiford, the inspiring author of Righteousness in America. At 76, Herman reflects on a life that began in East Baltimore, a place where hardship bred strength and faith was a guiding light. At just 5 years old, he made a heartfelt promise to God, asking for His presence throughout his life. That moment sparked a spiritual path that carried him through decades of challenges, growth, and unwavering belief. His book traces that journey, from a young boy with deep faith to a man navigating marriage, fatherhood, and the temptations of a complex world. Though some scenes are dramatized for effect, the soul of the story is grounded in truth, a testimony of divine guidance, personal resilience, and the ongoing pursuit of justice and equality. Join host Mia Thompson as she sits down with Herman Pettiford to explore the heart behind Righteousness in America, a story of spiritual endurance in a world of trials.
Hi, welcome to Writer's Way Solutions channel. Now, here with me, everyone, is the author of the book entitled Righteousness in America. So how are you doing today, Mr. Herman?
I'm good today. Every day the old people get up. I've risen already, so I must gonna have a good day today.
Okay, that's good to hear that. So let me start with the first question, Herman. What motivated you to write Righteousness in America, and what personal experiences influenced your perspective on this topic?
That happened a long time ago. I come from a very religious family, and even the times were different then. I'm 79 now, and I remember going to church before I went to school. I must have been 3 or 4. I used to sit on the bench and play with my toys as the service was going on. Mm-hmm. And my reason for writing the book was, as I got older, I found out that everybody didn't believe in God. I thought everybody in the whole wide world believed in God. So as growing up, I found out that everybody did not believe in God, and everybody did not know Jesus. Now, that's how it first came to my mind to write my book. I wanted to let the whole wide world know that there was a Jesus and that there was a God, and that everybody should believe in God. That was my first purpose for having the initiative to write the book. Now, after I got to a certain age, and I started writing the book, my lifespan changed. And I went out into the world, and I saw the world different. I had never seen black people with automobiles of their own and businesses of their own. I had never seen the world as it was rare. I had never seen it. And it fascinated me. And so what I really wanted to do then was I wanted to tell the world about this fascinating world that I just stepped into, along with believing in God and Jesus. And that was the initiative of how I started to write the book. That's how it happened. And since then, it has turned around so many different times, so many different ways. When God is in your life, things just happen, and your life turns around, and you have to go with the flow. I hope that I have explained myself to you.
Yeah, exactly. I do understand, and I appreciate you for publishing this book, because especially in these generations right now, we can really see that young people right now seems like they don't know God or Jesus. And I appreciate, I admire on how you strongly emphasizes that unwavering faith in God can serve as a guiding light, even in the darkest moments. So, aside from that, Herman, how do you define righteousness within the context of American society, and why do you believe it is important to address today?
Well, that's the same road. I think that righteousness has a lot to do with your home training, what you learned as a child, what you was taught as a child. Righteousness might just mean be good to some people. And righteousness just might mean to be fair and love everybody to some people. But righteousness to me, because I come from a very religious family, is having faith in God. That's what righteousness means to me, having faith in God and understanding the times as they change. People don't understand the times when the world is changing. People don't understand it. I remember when I was a child on Sundays in my neighborhood, everybody went to church. Everybody had on church clothes, as they call them. And now, I learned to tie a tie before I was 7, and when I became a man, I was so surprised at how many people did not know how to tie a tie, but when you're a child and you have a certain kind of bringing up, righteousness means to you different than it would to some people that don't have it religiously. So that's what righteousness means to me. It means believing in God, believing in Jesus, and being fair to people who, it doesn't matter what they look like, how they talk, what culture they have, just being fair, being right. That's how I feel about right.
Okay, thank you so much. That's truly amazing on how you, emphasize righteousness in your book. Now, what do you think are the most significant moral or ethical challenges facing America right now, and how does your book address them?
Well, I don't think my book addresses that, the first book that you're talking about. The second book, the second part of the book, which is just about finished, addresses the question that you just asked. But the first book, I don't think addresses that question because people are just people. How did you ask me that question again?
What do you think are the most significant moral or ethical challenges facing America right now, and how does your book address them?
Okay, I don't think my book addresses that like that. This is a new world. Even though it's old, this is the new world. People think different, they love different, they believe different, they eat different, they swim different, they talk different, they dress different. Everything is new now. Everything is different than how it was before. And my book addresses how people's heart is and how people's heart should be as I see reality and righteousness and goodness and believing in God. I did not make room for how I think that it should be for people to think now. That's in the second part of my book where I wrote how people change with the times and the things that they should be doing and why they should be doing it. But it all still goes back to how you were brought up, how your parents taught you, how your neighborhood was. It doesn't make a difference whether he was rich or poor. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the morals that you learned when you was a child. You learn not to. Okay, so the Bible says you don't steal, you don't kill, you don't do certain things. But as a child growing up in your neighborhood, you learn to take the old lady's bag when you see her come across the street. Don't make no difference how she look. If she's just an old lady, take her bag. I learned to respect gray hair. Gray hair means that you are a senior. Most likely, you are a senior. And in my times, children, everybody had a grandmother or grandfather or living in their house. Most likely, they don't do it now because they divided them into senior citizen buildings and took the older people out. But the older people lived with the younger people at one particular time, and the older people was always there to teach the younger people. They don't have that now. That's not how it is now. So that's how I see your morals and principles. You learn from your family, your neighborhood, your surroundings, and it doesn't have anything to do. Everything has something to do with money, but it doesn't really have anything to do with whether you're rich or poor. That really doesn't make a difference. Even when you're poor and if you have holes in your clothes, there are certain rules and regulations that you learn because it's not adequacy, but it's how you treat people. It's the morals and the principles that you learn from within your family line of what they're teaching to you. That's
Yeah,
how I see
exactly.
that.
Exactly. Well, I can see it right now in this generation that many people in America are grappling with a sense of identity, purpose, and belonging, especially amid cultural and society social shift. And in your book, I'd like to open up this thing on how it was addressed in your book, like the protagonist unwavering commitment to his faith and moral convictions. It provides, a blueprint for finding purpose and amid uncertainty. Like the story suggests that a connection for higher values and spiritual guidance can anchor one's sense of identity. That's why I would like to hear that things as well in the interview because at the same time, for today's world, we are trying to look for a book that could really beneficial in this generations right now. Now, aside from that, Herman, how did your faith or personal beliefs shape the themes and messages within the book?
Well, the book is not just a religious guide.
Mhm.
The book has sinful ways, negative attitudes. It
Mhm.
has things that are wrong. It has
Mhm.
things that happens in the world that's happening in the world right now. It's not
Mhm.
it's wash your hands clean book. It
Uh huh.
tells you about your God. It tells you about your Jesus. It tells you about biblical sayings and biblical stories. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it gives you the same thing that what's happening in life in America: murder,
Okay.
drugs, alcohol, gambling. All these things are combined in the book, and it shows how that you come into the world and get lost because
Mhm.
the devil is strong. He is very, very strong, and he knows how to put in front of you what you want more than anything in the world. He knows
Yeah.
how to make you want something. You want it, and he'll give it to you. All you got to do is follow him.
Mhm.
So and I want you to know that that's a part of the book because that's a part of the world because that's a part of what's happening. Now, my main subject after finding out that the book is concerning God and Jesus, my next point in the book is that people think that the devil, as you call him, is in the sky somewhere, but it's not how it is. My next point in my book is that he's right here. He's right here with us. He's right here on earth. We walk past him sometimes. He walks past us sometimes. He knocks on our door. He's right here where people think that he's not here and that everything that happens negative has something to do with him. Everything that's negative in this world has something to do with him. And people
Mhm.
don't look for that. I try my best to explain to people through the book that everything that's negative, sinful, and wrong, it comes from the devil. And you have to stop thinking that you don't blame him. You blame, how did this happen? What did this happen for? Who did this? He's behind it all. And that's my next point in the book that I try to make people realize that he's here, beside you, next door to you, around the corner. He's right here on earth. That's my next point that I try to make people understand.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Herman. Now, was there a particular moment or event that sparked the idea for this book, or has it been a concept you've been passionate about for years?
Well, it's been a concept since I was a little boy. I wanted to write a book to tell people that my God was real and that he was here. I wanted to write a book, but when I became a man and I went out into the world, I seen the world different. I saw the world as it was. I never saw the world sinful before because it's not that I didn't see it sinful. I seen bad things happen, but when I went out into the world, I seen sinful things as razor sharp, bright, pretty things that I didn't
Mhm.
know about. I seen beautiful cars, beautiful women, beautiful clothes. Everything was shiny. Everything was brand spanking new. Everything had a purpose because it was simple and it looked so delicious. And I had to wallow in it for years before I got myself together. And it went from one thing, so I started writing about the book that it was for my God. Then I
Mhm.
also wanted to bring into the world, to people's hearts, this new world that I found. I wanted to write about gambling. I wanted to write about cars and beautiful women and gambling, and I wanted to write about that also. So what I decided to do was to put it all together and tell it like I saw it. That's what I did.
Okay, that's truly amazing of you. Like the concept, the idea when you were still a young boy, and then you were able to come up all those things and publish the book. Well, I believe that it's truly a talent, that you were able to publish this kind of book. Now, could you tell us something about the protagonist of your book, Herman?
Well, that was myself. That I wrote my story. That was myself, and I just changed the name, and but that was myself. That was this is my story, and I just changed it around a whole lot, but it was my story.
Okay. Now, how do you hope readers will reflect on their own lives and beliefs after reading your book?
I never thought that far. My only goal was to introduce my God. I never thought about how they would feel. I wanted to, if I introduced my God and they accepted it, if I just introduced my God to them and they read the book, I was satisfied, because I would have got my point across. I wanted everybody in the world to understand that there is a God. That is the backbone, the real purpose of me writing. Ever since I was a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. As I grew up and went out into the world and found out a whole lot of other shiny, sinful things, I added them to the book. But my main purpose was to have people to see that there is a God. And once they read that, I never thought about how they would feel. I would have accomplished my goal by letting them read it. I never thought about the rest of it, how they would feel.
Okay. Well, have you received any feedback from readers that has particularly resonated with you or surprised you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I've had the repercussions from the book. I've even had some bad ones. Some people tell me that I should not have told the world about gambling. Some people told me they were enlightened about biblical stories, and some people told me that, well, in my book, a lot of situations that happened in the book, I related to biblical situations. A lot of people like those stories. There was a king that God wrote on the wall that he was out of place. I referred that to and people still use that saying, you better see the writing on the wall. I don't know whether you know the story or not, but he took his finger and wrote on the wall. God did this, and at a king's palace when he gave a ball, he wrote on the wall, and nobody understood what the writing said. So in the book, things that happened similar to that, I drew that parable so they could see the same difference. Same difference that happened when the people didn't believe then. Same difference that happened. He thought that he was God. He thought that he had so much power that there was nobody higher than him. And God took him and and took his kingship from him and put him in the garden and let him be a wild animal. I think it was for 7 years or something like that. He ended up giving him his kingship back, but the man from that point on knew that there was a God. And I drew that as parable, along with 2 or 3 other parables that I drew. And I got feedback from people about that. A lot of people like that. And a lot of people, I know one lady was telling me that she didn't know that I don't know whether you know, do you know what the lottery is? You play the lottery and win some money. Well, it's a game that people play. It's illegal. It's played all over the United States, and you can play it for $1 ticket or $2 ticket, $5 ticket, whatever you want. But you win money from it, and it originated. Everybody plays it. You're one of the few people that I met that never heard of it. But the lady was saying that it started from poor black people playing for pennies. That's how it started. And when I wrote in the book how it started and how it originated and how it is now, it's for millions of dollars now. When it started for pennies, and they took it from the black people and made it for themselves and made it legitimate. So I got a lot of feedback on that. I got a lot of feedback on when I wrote about now I can't think of this word, and I'm not even sure because I know I ain't gonna get it. Masculine conception. Immaculate conception. I explained that to my audience. That was one of the things that I explained to my audience, and I got a whole lot of feedback on that. And but it was all mostly good. And that's some of the feedback that I received.
Okay, that's good to hear that you have heard, a lot of feedbacks about this. Now, what advice would you give to readers who want to make a positive impact in their communities based on the ideas discussed in your book?
I would advise them to go to church, read their Bible, and to read it. That would be my advice for that question that you just asked me. That's the only way that if my book excited you and you wanted to learn more and you wanted to, how would you want the impact to come off so you could be more? Get the Bible, read the Bible, and go to church. And I'm pretty sure that you will find something beautiful there. I'm pretty sure that you will find room for pleasure. I'm pretty sure you will be pleasured by it.
Okay. Now, one last question, Herman. Where do readers keep in touch or could possibly follow you through your platform? Any website, social media platforms, or upcoming book events?
Well, all this is new to me. I wrote the book. It's probably been almost 2 years, but I didn't have any money. I didn't know how to market it, and I just sat down for a while. And things went bad. I wrote the book, but I just let it sit there. I'm just starting to market it, and for the time being, right now, I'm selling books on my website. They're not just in Barnes and Noble and Amazon, but I sell them on my website. I have a website, and I'll give you the website.
Yeah. It's righteousdocuments.com, right?
Yes, and I also have an email, and that's how I'm pretty sure people can get in touch with me. And
Okay.
people that buy books from my website, I like them and let them know individually when I'm having book fairs, when I'm having anything to do with new book coming out, or some people I find they just like to have personal conversations, and I don't mind that. Some people I find that they get a book, and I'll write them and let them know how far I am in my second book and what it's about, and they would end up. It first started, a lady asked me for my phone number, and I gave it to her. And she called me and we talked, but we talk about religious things, and it's a good conversation. And she's one of the few people to do that. But I'm just saying that's how things are. I even had that's what you want to do, have a personal conversation. My line is always open to you if you talk to God. My line is always open to you. In my book, those things I'm ready to talk about. I have no fear, or I have no where I don't want to talk. Of course, I will be enlightened to talk to you about my book or about righteousness in your life, or in my life. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Herman, for participating in this recorded interview. Now, I concluded that spreading the lessons of righteousness in America is essential because, the book offers a powerful message about maintaining a moral integrity, spiritual resilience, and community strength in the face of adversity. So I really hope that, with the journey that you have in this literary industry, you will be able to help a lot of people, especially in these young generations right now. Okay? So I'd like to know if you want, if there's something that you'd like to add in this recorded interview that we have.
Like I said, I started this book about. I just set it down, and I've just started to try to get it out there in the world. And I'm getting some feedback now. I haven't sold a lot of copies yet. I have sold some, but I have not sold a lot of copies yet. And I just want people to know that hey, I hope you like the book. I think you will. And I just hope more than anything that you get a foothold on finding out about God. It's your life will change. Your life will change, and a whole lot of roughness will become more easy. That's my advice.
Again, thank you so much for participating in this recorded interview.